Hello everyone, welcome to the Entry app. Today we are going to do the current affairs of 1st July. These have been compiled by me, Bhavna, from all the important news sources such as the Indian Express, the Hindu, PIB and all the other important news sources. So here's an overview of today's session. We'll be starting off with the national news, which would also cover the important COVID-19 related developments. It would be followed by states news. It would be then followed by international news. Then we'll be moving on to the economy, business and banking. And in the last, we'll be looking at the important people in news. So let's start with today's important national news. So the first news is a very important news and most of us must be aware also about this. So India has banned TikTok and 58 other apps which are probably of Chinese origin or Chinese or have Chinese links. So this move was conducted by Ministry of Information and Technology using its power under Section 69A of IT Act along with the relevant provisions of Information Technology Rules 2009. So why have these apps been banned? I mean, what is the reason given by the government? So the government says that all these apps, which range apps from gaming, music streaming and social media, are prejudicial to sovereignty and integrity of India, defense of India, security of state, and public order. Besides, these apps are not reliable in terms of the data that is being uploaded and shared by the people. So, this move, however, was executed by IT Ministry's Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, which is also known as CERT in, and approved by General Rajesh Pant, who is the National Cyber Security Coordinator and is also a part of National Security Council Secretariat. So CERT, we've already done that. It functions under Ministry of Information and Technology. Its headquarters are in New Delhi and the Director General is Sanjay Bahel. The Union Minister of Electronics and Information Technology is Ravi Shankar Prasad. The important questions from this news would be how many apps of Chinese origin or links have been banned by the government of India, which is 59. The government of India has invoked its which power under which section of the IT Act to ban the 59 apps in India. So that would be section 69A. What is the full form of CERT? Which specific department of the government of India has issued notification for banning the Chinese links app, and that would be CERT, that is the Computer Emergency Response Team of IT Ministry. And who is the National Cyber Security Coordinator? That is General Rajesh Pant. The next news is Bharat Biotech's COVID vaccine is the first in India to get approval for human trials. So CDSCO, that is the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, has granted approval to Bharat Biotech India to conduct human clinical trials for Covaxin, making it the first indigenous COVID-19 vaccine candidate to receive this approval. So DCGI of India, that is the Drug Controller General of India, Dr. VG Samani, had approved Bharat Biotech's application to conduct phase 1 and phase 2 clinical trials. The permission was granted after the company submitted its results from preclinical studies of the vaccine that demonstrated its safety and immune response. So this vaccine, Covaxin, has been developed by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with Indian Council of Medical Research, National Institute of Virology. So some quick facts about the Drug Controller General of India. So this is the department of the Central Drug Standard Control Organization of the Government of India, and DCGI comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It sets standards for manufacturing, sales, import and distribution of drugs in India. So talking about National Institute of Virology, it is situated in Pune and it is an Indian Virology Research Institute. It is one of the part of ICMR, which is the Indian Council of Medical Research. Now, ICMR is the apex body for the formulation, coordination and promotion of biomedical research in the country. It is funded by the Government of India and functions under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The Direct Secretary and Director General is Dr. Balram Bhargav. So the important questions from this news would be, which of the following is the first company to get approval for human trials? That's Bharat Biotech. What is the name of the first vaccine that has been given approval for conducting trials in India? That's Covaxin. Which of the following has developed Covaxin? That is National Institute of Virology, and Bharat Biotech. Who is the Drug Controller General of India? Dr. V.G. Somani. Where are the headquarters of National Institute of Virology situated? Pune. Where are the headquarters of ICMR situated? That's Delhi. And who is the Secretary General of ICMR? Dr. Balram Bhargav. The next important news is the National Fertilizers Limited has launched 5 mobile soil testing labs for testing soil samples at the doorstep of farmers free of cost. So this step was done to boost the soil testing facility in the country and to promote appropriate use of fertilizers. So these mobile labs have been loaded with the latest soil testing equipment and shall be used for macro and micronutrient analysis. And in addition, these mobile labs are also equipped with the audio video system to educate farmers on various agriculture topics. So National Fertilizers Limited, which is also referred as NFL, is a mini Ratna and is a government-owned company. It is a producer of chemical fertilizers, organic fertilizers, and industrial chemicals. The headquarters are in Noida, and the chairman and MD is Mr. Virendra Nath Dutt. So the important questions from this news would be, which of the following has started with the free testing of soil samples at the doorstep of farmers? What is the full form of NFL? Where are the headquarters of NFL situated? Who is the chairman and MD of NFL? The next news is that Ministry of Home Affairs have issued new guidelines for Unlock 2. So the Unlock 2 would start from 1st July 2020, and Ministry of Home Affairs has issued guidelines for Unlock 2 to open, and under these guidelines it has opened up more activities in areas outside the containment zones. So the new guidelines are based on the feedback which the government has received from states and UTs, and after extensive consultations which were held with related central ministries and departments. So in the new guidelines, curfew now would be enforced from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. Shops, depending upon their area, can have more than 5 persons at a time. However, they have to maintain adequate physical distance. Lockdown shall continue to be implemented strictly in containment zones till 31st July 2020, and states and UT have been given the power to decide which area would be designated as the containment zone. The Union Home Minister of India is Mr. Amit Shah. The important questions from this news would be, when did the Unlock 2 phase of India start? That's 1st July 2020. Who is the Union Home Minister? What is the new timing of curfew that have been given in the new guidelines issued by Ministry of Home Affairs? So the next news of the day is PM Swanidhi portal launched, and it's a beta version. So beta version is a kind of trial and test version that is launched by the companies before the final product is launched. So PM Swanidhi stands for Pradhan Mantri Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi Yojana. So the portal for this scheme has been launched, which is an integrated IT platform. It is an end-to-end solution for scheme administration and has been developed by SIDBI. Now, what is SIDBI? SIDBI stands for Small Industrial Development Bank of India. It is headquartered in Lucknow, and it is also the scheme implementation partner for the PM Swanidhi Yojana. So this portal would facilitate multiple scheme functions, which is like loan application, eKYC, linking of Aadhaar, mobile app, and stuff like that. So PM Swanidhi portal shall start accepting loan applications from street vendors from July 2nd. So I have a question for you, because we have already done PM Swanidhi a lot of times. In the comment section, you're going to tell me what is the amount that can be issued as loan to the street vendors under the PM Swanidhi Yojana. The important questions from this news would be, what does PM Swanidhi stands for? That Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi. PM Swanidhi is targeting which category of people? So that would be street vendors. Who is the implementing partner of PM Swanidhi? That is SIDBI. So where are the headquarters of SIDBI situated? It is situated in Lucknow. And what is the full form of SIDBI? SIDBI stands for Small Industrial Development Bank of India. And it is the chairman and MD of SIDBI is Mohammad Mustafa. Next news is Minister of Minority Affairs, Shri Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, has laid foundation stone for Sanskritic Sadbhav Mandap at Rampur, Uttar Pradesh. So this community center will be utilized for various socio-economic cultural activities, skill development training, coaching, relief activities during disasters such as Corona, and different sports activity. It will be constructed at a cost of rupees 92 crore, and these would be provided by the Union Minority Affairs Ministry under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. So the important questions from this news would be: who among the following has laid the foundation stone for Sanskritic Sadbhav Mandap? And where is the foundation stone of Sanskritic Sadbhav Mandap laid down? Who is the Union Minority Affairs Minister of India? Under which scheme would be the Sanskritic Sadbhav Mandap constructed? So that would be PMJVK. What does PMJVK stands for? It stands for Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram. Now we'll be covering the important states related news. So the first news is that West Bengal to form COVID Warrior Club with recovered patients. So the government of West Bengal has announced that state government will form a COVID Warrior Club, which would comprise people who have recovered from the coronavirus, and they would perform voluntary service at hospitals and help contain the pandemic. So this scheme would start from Behrampur, where there are 60 individuals who have been cured of COVID. So they will do voluntary service and make people aware of the fact that COVID can be cured. They will be given a stipend and the government will arrange for their food and accommodation. Important question from this news would be: which state has decided to form the COVID Warrior Club with the recovered patient? Also, what is the name of a club that the West Bengal government has formed with the recovered COVID patients? The next news is that the Delhi government has set up India's first plasma bank. Now, what is this plasma bank? So, plasma bank is actually based on the plasma therapy, which is being used for the COVID patient. Now, this therapy requires drawing blood from the patients who have recovered from the COVID-19 and using the plasma and antibodies from that blood on the patients who are suffering. So unlike blood donation, in which the complete blood is taken out, only plasma is drawn from the blood in the plasma therapy. And doctors involved in the trial said they use this therapy on the patients who are in the second stage of disease, wherein their lungs have gotten affected. Now, where has the Delhi government set this plasma bank? So it has set up at the Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences, and it will be made available for government and private hospital after getting a doctor's recommendation. The important questions from this news would be: which of the following would set up India's first plasma bank? Where has Delhi government set up India's first plasma bank? Now we'll be covering the important international news. So this is an important development, and Iran has issued an arrest warrant and it has asked Interpol for help in detaining President Donald Trump and dozens of others it believes who have carried out drone strike that killed General Qasim Soleimani in Baghdad. So this General Soleimani was the one who oversaw the Revolutionary Guards Expeditionary Quds Force, and he was killed in a drone strike that happened near the Baghdad International Airport. However, it is unlikely that Interpol would grant Iran's request, as its guideline for notices forbids Interpol from undertaking any intervention or activities of a political nature. Now, talking about Interpol, Interpol is the International Criminal Police Organization. It is the world's largest police organization, and it is headquartered in Lyon, France. Kim Jong-yang is the president of Interpol. Recently, also, we had read an important news about Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, under which we read that they are planning to establish a permanent military base in Indian Ocean by March 2021. So all these developments are actually very significant because these are giving a direct insight into the deteriorating relationships between Iran and the US. The important questions from this news would be: which country has issued warrant against the US President Donald Trump? Who is the chief of Interpol? Name the Iran's general who was killed in a drone strike by the United States. Now we'll be covering the important economic, banking and business related news. So the first news is Rajnath Singh has launched online portal for the issue of NOC. Now what is an NOC? NOC is a no objection certificate. Rajnath Singh, who is the Union Defense Minister of India, has launched a new web portal which would allow issuing NOC for power projects and research, survey, exploration, exploitation, which is the RSEE activities in the Indian territorial waters and exclusive economic zones. So all these acronyms are very important: NOC, expand NOC, expand RSEE, expand EEZ, expand TW. So the ministry, the Defense Ministry, has developed this online portal with the assistance of National E-Governance Division, Bhaskaracharya Institute of Space Application and Geoinformatics, and National Informatics Center to ensure ease of business and transparency. It is the Ministry of Defense who accords security clearances to different public and private organizations. Acronyms from this news are very important: NOC, RSEE, TW, EEZ, NEGD, BISAG, NIC. Some quick facts: NIC is the National Informatics Center. It is an attached office under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It provides infrastructure to help support the delivery of government IT services and delivery of some initiatives of Digital India. Talking about BISAG, which is the Bhaskaracharya Institute of Space Application, it is a state agency of Gujarat government, and it aims to provide services and solutions in implementing map-based geospatial information systems. The important question from this news could be all the acronyms, and which of the following ministry has launched an online portal for the issue of NOC for the power projects, research, survey, exploration, and exploitation activities in Indian territorial water and exclusive economic zone. The next news is that a concessional agreement for the first India-Bhutan joint venture hydroelectric project, which would be a 600 megawatt project, was signed. So the name of this project is Kholongchu project, and the agreement was signed between the Bhutanese government and Kholongchu Hydro Energy Limited, and this would be located on the lower course of Kholongchu River in the eastern Bhutan's Trashi Yangtis district. So the important question from this news would be: India is building Kholongchu project with which of the following countries? Where is the Kholongchu project situated? The next news is the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, along with the Haryana CM, Shri Manohar Lal, has laid the foundation stone of Indian Oil State-of-Art Technology Development and Deployment Center as its second research and development campus at Faridabad. So this new center has been established with an investment of rupees 2282 crores, and the new campus would focus on demonstration and deployment of various technologies developed by the Indian Oil's R&D. The important question from this news would be: where has the Indian Oil laid the foundation stone of its second campus? The next news is that RBI has decided to roll out new phase of Operation Twist. Now, what is Operation Twist? Operation Twist is a operation of RBI in which it conducts simultaneously bond selling and bond buying. So this operation is conducted to lower the rate of interest on the long-term government bond. So RBI would conduct the bond swapping program under the open market operations, which also stands for an acronym OMO, for rupees 10,000 crores each on 2nd July. So why is this Operation Twist being done, and what is the purpose? So typically the RBI conducts OMO sales to drain liquidity in the financial system, and OMO purchases are done to infuse liquidity. So with this, it is trying to just lower the interest rate on the long-term government bonds. As a part of the program, RBI is going to purchase securities with tenures between 7 and 13 years and sell short-dated securities maturing in October and April. Quick facts about RBI: it is the Central Bank of India. It's headquartered in Mumbai, and the current governor is Shaktikant Das. So the important questions from this news would be: what does OMO stand for? Which of the following would roll out Operation Twist? And what does Operation Twist mean? Now we'll be doing the important people in news. So two very, very important appointments. So KK Venugopal has been reappointed as the Attorney General of India for the next 1 year, and he succeeded Mukul Rohtagi as Attorney General of India on June 30th, 2017. So who is the Attorney General of India? He is the Indian government's chief legal advisor and is the primary lawyer in Supreme Court of India. Next is Tushar Mehta has been reappointed as the Solicitor General for a period of 3 years. Now, who is the Solicitor General? The Solicitor General of India is a subordinate to the Attorney General of India. He or she is the second law officer of the country and assists the Attorney General. The important questions from this news would be: who among the following has been appointed as the Attorney General? Who among the following has been appointed as the Solicitor General? Or Tushar Mehta has been reappointed at which post? Or KK Venugopal has been reappointed at which of the following posts? So the next news is that Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandi Patel has been given the additional charge of Madhya Pradesh in the absence of Governor Lalji Tandon, who is ill and has been taken to the hospital. So direct question would be: Anandi Ben Patel has been given the additional charge of which of the following states? The next news is former French Prime Minister Francis Fillon has been sentenced to jail for embezzling public funds. So, former French Prime Minister Francis Fillon, along with his British wife Penelope, has received prison sentences after being found guilty of misappropriation in a fake job scandal that wrecked his presidential bid. So, Mrs. Fillon, who is the wife of the former French Prime Minister, was paid nearly 1 million of public money over 15 years for a purported job as her husband's parliamentary aide. But the Paris Correctional Court found that she had not performed the duties associated with such a role. So, the direct question from this news would be, which of the following countries' prime minister has been sentenced to jail for embezzling public funds? Or Francis Fillon had been the prime minister of which of the following countries? So the last news of the day is that Michael Martin has been elected as the new prime minister of Ireland. So he will take over the office from Leo Varadkar, and the results were announced by the Speaker of Lower House, Sean O'Fairgill. So he will head a three-party coalition consisting of Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and Green Party. So direct question from this news would be, Michael Martin has been elected as the new prime minister of which of the following countries, or who among the following is the prime minister of Ireland? So with this, we have come to the end of current affairs of today. Guys, I hope you're able to understand the current affairs. Please make sure that you provide your valuable feedback in the comment section. And if you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you for listening and take care.